Welcome to the Deep Dive, the only place where we take complex, cutting-edge tech and, well, really boil it down to the knowledge you need. If you're tracking AI progress, you know the conversation's shifting fast, away from just one big model doing everything. So today we are diving deep into this really fascinating report, Three Agents Walk into a Store, How Multi-Agents AI Turns Retail Insight into Action, our mission. To unpack this idea of autonomous, specialized AI agents, we're going to look at a really concrete retail example, see how these agents actually work together, collaborating to turn competitive insights into action. And not in days, but like in hours.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, I think, is grasping that core shift, that conceptual transition. For years, AI was kind of positioned as the co-pilot, right? The single huge model helping a person out. But this source material, it really confirms the next step is moving towards a distributed system. Think a network of autonomous smart agents all working together. And it's this collaboration, really, that unlocks that exponential speed and lets you tackle serious operational complexity.
Okay, let's unpack that architecture then. Because we've all gotten pretty familiar with large language models. They're amazing generalists. But these new agents we're talking about, we're moving past generality here. These are specialists. Purpose-built.
Precisely. Yeah, they're not trying to solve the universe. Think of them more like hyper-specialized tools. Each one is preloaded with immense domain expertise. So each agent has its own dedicated data, specific reasoning abilities, language models tailored just for its function. They're designed to get the nuances of one specific area, make decisions within certain guardrails, of course, and then act autonomously.
And this foundation is key, isn't it? The source makes a point that this isn't just, theoretical big tech stuff. Startups are driving this. Ones with deep domain knowledge. They're taking years of industry data, process logic, operational best practices, all that stuff that used to live in people's heads or complicated manuals, and they're packaging it. All that deep expertise into these autonomous focused components.
Exactly. And what that means is that these established, sometimes really frustrating operational processes like figuring out the best way to manage inventory across, say, 500 different stores or how to set up self-displays just right, well, now they can be digitized, automated, into components that talk to each other dynamically. The knowledge gets applied directly, instantly.
Which brings us straight to probably the most critical piece of this whole puzzle. The orchestrator. Because if you've got a team of specialists, you need a general manager, right? Someone to coordinate the whole show.
Absolutely. The orchestrator is the conductor of this symphony of intelligence. When a retailer sets a high-level goal, something like optimize inventory and pricing across all stores because of some big external event, it's the orchestrator that takes that high-level intent and figures out the workflow. Which specialized agents need to jump in? What subtasks do they need? And critically, how to coordinate the data flowing between them smoothly to get the job done. It manages dependencies, confirms things get executed.
Okay, so that orchestration role sounds way more complex than just routing a request. It needs to understand the order of things, too. Like, you can't change a shelf layout until you know what stock is actually coming in.
Exactly right. It's a workflow manager, basically. It uses its own logic to optimize the sequence and the speed. It turns that single business goal into this cascade of coordinated, intelligent actions.
This is where it gets real, though, seeing it in practice.
Yeah.
And the source material gives us this perfect, practical scenario. It moves us from the theory into, well, agentic retail in action. So imagine a mid-sized retailer. They find out maybe through their monitoring systems that a big competitor just launched a flash sale on a popular running shoe line. And it's a line that directly overlaps with their own stuff. That's a competitive threat, right? Needs immediate action across multiple fronts.
And yeah, traditionally, that kind of threat, it would kick off maybe a week-long scramble. Starts with an analyst email, then a meeting with merchandising who talk to inventory managers who then email the store ops teams. It's slow. This multi-agent system just bypasses all that lag, all that latency.
Okay, so let's walk through the collaboration. The three specific specialized agents that the orchestrator activates here. We start with the one that notices the problem first. The nimble agent. What's its focus? Its specific domain.
Right. Nimble. Its whole world is external observability, market intelligence. Its job is basically to constantly scan the digital world. So in this scenario, it's the one that immediately flags that competitor's flash sale. But importantly, it doesn't just send a simple alert. It actually synthesizes critical data, like the exact price differences, the competitor's digital shelf presence, and maybe most importantly, the local shopper sentiment. It gets that from social media, local e-commerce buzz, and that sentiment data. It lets Nimble predict which specific physical stores are most likely to see a surge in demand, or maybe a drop-off because of what the competitor's doing.
Wow, okay. So really high-resolution competitive intel gathered and synthesized basically instantly. That data then flows back to the orchestrator,
Hmm.
which realizes, okay, market conditions have changed. We need a fast operational response. And the critical task now is inventory. So which agent gets the baton next?
That's when the orchestrator taps the Udistry agent. The name itself, Udistry, kind of implies distribution agility. This agent focuses entirely on network-level inventory redistribution. It understands SKU-level velocity, local demand patterns, the best, most cost-effective ways to transfer stock across the retailer's whole physical network.
Okay, so instead of some poor analyst spending hours trying to manually pull together reports from different warehouses and store systems, Udistry just models the stock positions autonomously. That sounds incredibly powerful. But how much human oversight is still needed to validate a big inventory shift, moving expensive products between stores, or is Udistry really making that call on its own?
Well, that's the key shift, isn't it? The agent is autonomous, but within its defined guardrails. It models the scenario, calculates the risk versus reward of moving stock fast. It factors in transport costs, local storage limits, protecting margins. So it recommends moving that excess stock of the specific running shoe, the one under threat from, say, slower suburban stores, to those high-traffic city locations that Nimble predicted would see the demand surge. Its output isn't just a suggestion, it's really a vetted, optimized plan ready for execution.
Okay, that's huge operational agility unlocked right there. But the job isn't done just by moving the boxes, is it?
Yeah.
Once Udistry's plan gets the green light from the orchestrator or maybe a human approver in the loop, the final step is making sure the execution on the ground is precise. And that's where the OmniStream agent steps in.
Exactly. OmniStream specializes in store-level execution, everything physical inside the store that hits the shopper experience. So when the orchestrator prompts it, OmniStream takes that incoming inventory plan and translates it instantly into specific action items for specific store managers.
Right. And this is where we hit some retail jargon that might be
Yeah.
a bit fuzzy for some listeners. When you say OmniStream manages planograms and facings, what exactly does that mean in practice?
Good point. Yeah, planograms are basically the detailed maps, the blueprints for the shelves. They dictate exactly where every single product goes and how many items those are the facings should be visible to the customer walking by. So OmniStream, in this scenario, it reconfigures the planograms in those target urban stores. It adjusts the shelf placement, the number of facings for those specific running shoes. It makes sure the retailer's offering is highlighted, prominent, front and center, basically, the moment those shoppers who might have been tempted by the competitor's sale walk in the door.
Got it. So we have this integrated domain-specific response then. External threat detected by Nimble, inventory optimized by Udistry,
Right.
and then precise in-store merchandising handled by OmniStream, all happening within hours, without a human needing to manually juggle 3 different systems or send a bunch of emails. It's like the definition of an integrated multi-agent response.
And the result, as the source really underscores, it fundamentally changes the reaction time of the business. They've turned external competitive intel into tangible physical retail execution at speed. This isn't just like a 20% improvement. It's a whole category shift from days down to hours.
So, okay, let's zoom out a bit.
Right.
What does this all mean? This scenario, it's not just about moving shoes efficiently, is it? It feels like it's about building a truly adaptive, responsive retail system. Let's synthesize the business significance. Why does the synergy of these 3 agents matter so much?
Yeah, this is the critical takeaway, I think. Each agent is leveraging its focus strength, specialty to deliver a crucial business impact. Nimble provides that essential market intelligence, right? Letting the business act preemptively, not just reactively. Udistry delivers that network-level inventory agility, which protects margins, prevents stockouts where demand is high, minimizes markdowns where it's slow.
And OmniStream ensures that precision at the shelf is actually maintained, meaning all the effort and cost of getting inventory to the right place isn't wasted because the shelf looks messy or the product's hidden. That cohesion turns insights directly into profitability.
Precisely. The system forms this continuous, responsive loop. Insights flow directly into action, and that action immediately loops back as learning for the agents. It's an adaptive system built from these specialized parts.
That conductor analogy really works, doesn't it? It highlights that the value isn't just in the individual agents, but in that intelligent, goal-oriented coordination. The framework isn't some single, giant AI brain trying to do everything.
No.
It's the conductor, orchestrating a symphony of domain-specific intelligence.
Absolutely. And The future of any complex operational sector, I mean, not just retail, it probably won't be defined by one single giant AI model trying to wrestle with all the complexity. It's more likely going to be defined by these multi-agentic ecosystems that think, learn, and act together. They achieve these high-impact results because each agent knows what it knows best and collaborates instantly when needed. It kind of proves that knowledge is most valuable when you can understand it and apply it at speed. And, that leads to maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to kind of mull over. If these specialized AI agents can achieve these big outcomes in retail by collaborating, by knowing what they know best, what specialized human knowledge in your own work or your field is currently stuck in silos? What high-value data is trapped behind certain departments, or technical hurdles, or just manual approvals? And, I mean, what new, maybe breakthrough outcomes could you unlock if those human silos were linked up instantly by some kind of central orchestrator designed not just for talking, but for action?
That's a really powerful prompt for reflection. The key, clearly, isn't just intelligence on its own. It's orchestrated action. Well, thank you for diving deep into this with us today. Really fascinating stuff. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.